Hello, and welcome to yet another podcast. This podcast will be unlike any other you have seen before because we are not reviewing an album today, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about a certain person today who has made some news recently. What's the news, buddy?
He is working on an album in some mountains in Wyoming.
If you still don't know who we're talking about, just stop watching the video right now. And if you do, yes, we're talking about Kanye West. More recently, reported coming back and being in Disneyland with his family. It's also his 3-year anniversary with his wife.
Shit going on.
Yeah, anyways. The last time Kanye West was working on an album somewhere else was when Kanye West was working on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in Hawaii.
Honolulu.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy has been said by many people to be the best hip-hop album to come out in the last decade. So what does that mean for Kanye doing another album
For me,
in Wyoming?
I think he's just trying to find some inspiration elsewhere, you know? He's trying to isolate himself from
All the shit that's been going on?
get some inspiration for his ideas flowing. With Watch the Throne, he went to Paris, he went to New York, and that was a banger of an album. So it's pretty exciting to see that he's going to some mountains.
I don't know what that would bring though. What kind of inspiration do you get from a mountaintop in Wyoming? Are you gonna start singing country music? Looking back at it now, I am a very large Kanye fan, Kanye supporter. I believe in Kanye. I believe in his genius mindset that he will continue to create good music even with all the diversity that he is going through. The man is leading street fashion. The man is one of the leading artists in hip-hop music right now. The man is married to Kim Kardashian, which maybe people aren't a fan of. The man has won 21 Grammys. Very influential artist. Most albums that he creates set a new trend for hip hop. When we look back and we look at Yeezus and we look at all those electronic sounds that were being used in Yeezus, that changed the sound of hip hop. There's nothing else you can say other than Kanye has consistently been creating phenomenal music.
What was the first song you ever heard?
Stronger. Stronger would have been the first Kanye song that I ever.
You know what? I probably didn't even know it was by Kanye, but I probably heard it too on the radio.
The first Kanye song that was Kanye, that I was damn, it's Kanye, and made me realize Kanye West was Paris.
Yeah.
That would have been the first track where I was jamming at all times of the day.
Other songs that were on the radio that I heard was probably Touch the Sky and Gold Digger.
Yeah, Gold Digger. But those tracks came out at a time when hip hop wasn't really my life. It wasn't really what I was thinking about a lot in life, It's changed a lot now. And the great thing about Kanye albums is that no matter how old they are, or how Kanye made them, or how different they sound from each other, any Kanye album, you can wake up in any morning and pull up a Kanye album, regardless of which one it is, and you can listen to that album all day without having a problem. He has just delivered tremendous amount of phenomenal music to the table. And I feel like people don't even give him that credit. People just talk about, oh, he's a psychopath, oh, he's crazy, he's not mentally okay, blah, 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 blah. And the media, some of that fault goes to the media because the media only shows the bad parts of Kanye. The media doesn't show you anything good that Kanye is doing.
I don't think Kanye gives a shit.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit out of it.
I don't give a shit anymore. And I'll just keep listening to him, keep supporting him, no matter what,
Kanye, if you're watching this video, feel free to send me some Yeezys. Big supporter. I really like Yeezys. I really like your music. You can send me your music too. You can send me anything.
inviting me to your mountaintop things.
You're a phenomenal guy. You have created great music. You have created some great fashion, which I will not buy most of it because I'm not rich. If I was rich, I would. I want to hear what your favorite Kanye albums are. Yeah, list them off in order.
Well, I'll start by saying my worst, not the worst, but that's at the bottom. Like, here's
Bottom
the
of your
thing.
list.
Here's the thing
He
with
doesn't have
Kanye
a worst.
albums.
Kanye doesn't have a worst album.
You could argue that all Kanye albums, any of them could be his number one.
Yeah.
And you could argue that all of them are just fantastic albums in each of its different ways. All of them have different sounds to it that Kanye brought into hip hop, which nobody has ever heard of. And starting with the College Dropout with his soul samples, and then he put in a live orchestra in Late Registration, and then to Graduation he brought in different EDM sounds, and you got The Stronger, which is sampled from Daft Punk, and then we got like just different features. Like, you won't see Chris Martin from Coldplay coming in on a track with Kanye or a hip-hop artist, and now that's not even unusual now. We see Kendrick doing songs with pop artists all the time,
Or U2. U2 was a big one for Kendrick recently.
and then we move into 808s and Heartbreak, which was totally different.
Okay. So
Anything
list the albums. Let's go from bottom to top.
The least one's probably 808s and Heartbreak,
I agree with you. Next.
and then after that, Jesus.
Yeezus is, you believe, his second lowest album.
Yeah,
Okay. Do not agree with that. Continue.
for sure. Second.
My second least, probably. Now we have a dilemma. I can't. That's my problem. I can't put Kanye albums in an order like that. I can put Kanye albums. I can put like my top favorites. Then I have like his that are like equal to each other. And then I have 808s at the bottom. So
This is how I would rate my albums, okay? Dark Twisted Fantasy and Late Registration tied for number 1. Number 10s for me. They're both number 10 albums. College Dropout
I
and
mean, number, like rating, as in you would rate them at
Yeah.
number 10. Okay.
College Dropout and Graduation tied for second, rated like 9.5. And then and then Jesus and Life of Pablo tied. And then 808's just like still a good album. Bang that shit. This is the lowest one.
Okay. So my turn. Please don't hate me because I don't miss the old Kanye. I am a new Kanye listener.
Okay.
But for me, the number one Kanye album is Yeezus. It's pure genius work. The whole album. My number 2 Kanye album is my number 2 Kanye albums are The Life of Pablo and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Phenomenal albums. I can listen to them all day long. My number 3 is Late Registration. Then College Dropout and Graduation on the same. 808s at the bottom.
So are you saying Yeezus, none of the tracks on Yeezus you would skip?
No. I listen to the whole album all the time. And
For me, that's
Even
even like half the album, like maybe 75 to 80%. And like 20% I skip.
like, for me, that's the case for a lot of Kanye albums. So I never feel like on a Kanye album, very rarely is there a track where I am like, oh, this is a skip track. I'm not gonna listen to this. I hate this track. It's just like, you don't care for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a bad track on an album. Well,
Yeah. It's just
He has, but it's not very often.
he knows how to make good music.
He knows how to make good music. Got anything else? Kanye, we love you.
Alrighty.
Shout out Manchester United, Europa League champions 2007.
We're in Champions League, baby.